wondered what ancient secrets lie hidden in the shadows of the Bible? Tales of celestial beings whose rebellion nearly unraveled the fabric of creation itself. What if one fallen angel, a once mighty guardian of heaven, became the architect of humanity's deepest corruptions, teaching forbidden knowledge that sparked wars, vanity, and moral decay on a scale that demanded divine intervention? In a world where spiritual battles rage unseen amidst the chaos of modern conflicts, the allure of forbidden technologies, and the erosion of ethical boundaries, the story of Azazel emerges as a chilling reminder of how one act of defiance can threaten to destroy everything today. We delve into the fallen angel who tried to destroy the world, the story of Azazel. We'll unravel the dark tale of this enigmatic figure, from his exalted origins in the heavenly realms to his catastrophic fall, exploring the forbidden teachings that corrupted humanity and the divine judgment that followed. This isn't just a myth from dusty scrolls, it's a narrative of cosmic rebellion, human frailty, and eternal consequences that exceeds your expectations of simple good versus evil. Prepare to journey through ancient texts, witness scenes of heavenly intrigue and earthly devastation, and uncover how Azazel's actions led to catastrophic fallout for all of mankind, echoing warnings that still resonate in our turbulent times. Let's step into the veil between heaven and earth, where angels walked among us, and discover the hidden truths of a being whose ambition nearly ended the world. To understand Azazel's story, we must first travel back to the dawn of creation, to a time when the heavens were alive with divine order and celestial beings served as the unseen architects of Goddess W. In the beginning, as described in Genesis 1, God created the heavens and the earth, populating the spiritual realm with hosts of angels, immortal, powerful entities designed to worship, serve, and execute his commands. These were not the cubic figures of Renaissance art, plump and harmless. They were formidable warriors and messengers, organized in hierarchies that reflected the perfection of their creator. The Bible hints at this vast angelic realm in passages like Job 38:7, where the morning stars sang together and all the angels shouted for joy at the laying of the earth as foundations. Among these were the Watchers, a class of angels tasked with observing humanity, as referenced in Daniel 4:13, where a watcher, a holy one, came down from heaven. Azazel, whose name means God strengthens, or ironically scapegoat in later interpretations, was one such watcher, a high-ranking angel in this divine order. Drawing from the ancient Book of Enoch, a text revered in early Jewish and Christian traditions. Though not part of the canonical Bible, Azazel is portrayed as a leader among the Grigori, the sons of God mentioned in Genesis 6:2. Enoch, written around the 3rd century BCE and quoted in the New Testament Book of Jude, paints a vivid picture of these beings. They were angels assigned to watch over the young human race, ensuring the unfolding of God's plan on earth. Imagine them as eternal sentinels, their forms radiant with otherworldly light, eyes piercing through the veil of time and space, witnessing the innocence of Eden and the first stirrings of human civilization. Azazel, in this narrative, stood out for his intellect and authority, perhaps second only to leaders like Semyaza in the hierarchy of the Watchers. But heaven's harmony was not to last. The mystery deepens as we explore the seeds of rebellion, a cosmic drama that mirrors humanity's own fall from grace. The Book of Enoch chapter 6 describes how 200 watchers, including Azazel, gazed upon the daughters of men and found them beautiful, lusting after them in defiance of their celestial purity. And it came to pass when the children of men had multiplied that in those days were born unto them beautiful and comely daughters. And the angels, the children of the heaven, saw and lusted after them, and said to one another, Come, let us choose us wives from among the children of men and beget us children. Enoch 6:1-2. Led by Semyaza, they swore a mutual oath on Mount Hermon, binding themselves to this transgression, fearing individual punishment if they acted alone. Azazel's role in this pact was pivotal. As one of the chief watchers, his participation lent weight to the rebellion. What drove him? Curiosity about mortal life, a desire for power beyond heaven's gates, or perhaps envy of humanity's free will, a gift denied to angels. The text suggests a mix of lust and hubris, a dangerous cocktail that led these immortals to descend from their lofty stations. They took human wives, fathering the Nephilim, giant hybrid offspring whose existence blurred the lines between divine and mortal, sowing chaos on earth. Genesis 6-4 echoes this. The Nephilim were on the earth in those days and also afterward when the sons of God went to the daughters of humans and had children by them. They were the heroes of old, men of renown. Yet, Azazel's sins extended far beyond forbidden unions. He became the teacher of forbidden arts, accelerating humanity's descent into wickedness. Enoch 8-1-3 details his corrupting influence, and Azazel taught men to make swords, and knives, and shields, and breastplates, and made known to them the metals of the earth, and the art of working them, and bracelets, and ornaments, and the use of antimony, and the beautifying of the eyelids, and all kinds of costly stones, and all coloring tinctures, and there arose much godlessness. And they committed fornication, and they were led astray, and became corrupt in all their ways. Picture the scene: Azazel, once a beacon of heavenly light, now cloaked in earthly shadows, descending upon primitive human settlements. His form, towering and ethereal, commands awe from the mortals who gather around him like moths to a flame. With a voice like rolling thunder, he reveals the secrets of metallurgy, forging the first blades that glint ominously under the sun. Men, who once hunted with stones and spears, now craft weapons of war, turning brother against brother in newfound conflicts. Women, adorned with the cosmetics and jewelry he teaches, embrace vanity, shifting societal values from simplicity to superficiality. Azazel's lessons aren't innocent knowledge, they're tools of destruction, empowering humanity's basest instincts and eroding the moral fabric God intended. This exceeds mere rebellion. It's a calculated assault on creation's order. By imparting these arts, Azazel doesn't just sin, he equips humanity to sin on a grand scale, transforming a garden world into one rife with violence and idolatry. The consequences ripple outward. Wars erupt over resources, beauty becomes a currency of power, and the earth fills with bloodshed. Enoch 9-6 laments, "Thou seest what Azazel hath done, who hath taught all unrighteousness on earth and revealed the eternal secrets which were preserved in heaven, which men were striving to learn." The fallout from Azazel's actions is catastrophic, plunging the world into an era of unprecedented evil that demands divine reckoning. As the Nephilim roam the earth, giants of legend, perhaps 10 to 30 feet tall based on ancient interpretations, their appetites and aggressions amplify human corruption. Genesis 6-5-6 captures God's grief. The Lord saw how great the wickedness of the human race had become on the earth, and that every inclination of the thoughts of the human heart was only evil all the time. The Lord regretted that he had made human beings on the earth, and his heart was deeply troubled. The giants, born of angelic human unions, become tyrants, devouring resources and oppressing the weak. Enoch 7-3-5 describes, "Who consumed all the acquisitions of men, and when men could no longer sustain them, the giants turned against them and devoured mankind, and they began to sin against birds and beasts and reptiles and fish, and to devour one another's flesh and drink the blood." This cannibalism and perversion symbolize total moral collapse, a world where Azazel's teachings have turned innovation into instruments of death. God's response is the Great Flood, a reset button on creation's corruption. But before the waters rise, he dispatches archangels to deal with the fallen watchers, Enoch 10:4-7 details Azazel's judgment. And again the Lord said to Raphael, bind Azazel hand and foot, and cast him into the darkness, and make an opening in the desert, which is in Judea, and cast him therein, and place upon him rough and jagged rocks, and cover him with darkness, and let him abide there forever, and cover his face, that he may not see light. And on the day of the great judgment he shall be cast into the fire. Raphael, the healer archangel, becomes the executor, binding Azazel in the desolate Judeo-rocky abyss, symbolizing isolation and torment. This binding isn't mere punishment, it's containment, preventing further corruption until final judgment. The scene is harrowing. Raphael, wings ablaze with righteous fury, descends upon Azazel. Chains forged in heaven clanking as they secure the fallen one's limbs. Azazel, once proud, now wars in defiance as jagged stones pin him down, eternal darkness enveloping him like a shroud. This exceeds a simple fall, it's cosmic justice, ensuring the flood cleanses the earth without ongoing interference. The flood itself, as in Genesis 7, wipes the slate, saving only Noah's family. But Azazel's legacy lingers. His teachings survive in human memory, influencing post-flood societies. What if the myths of Greek gods or Norse legends echo these fallen angels, their forbidden knowledge disguised as divine gifts? Azazel's shadow extends into canonical scripture, most notably in Leviticus 16's scapegoat ritual. During Yom Kippur, the high priest lays Israel's sins on a goat sent to Azazel in the wilderness, Leviticus 16:10, but the goat chosen by Lot as the scapegoat shall be presented alive before the Lord to be used for making atonement by sending it into the wilderness to Azazel. Is this Azazel, the fallen angel, receiving sins as a demonic entity? Jewish tradition varies. Some see Azazel as a place rugged cliffs, others as a demon, the scapegoat, bearing sins into the wild. Near is Azazel's binding in Judea, a symbolic transfer of corruption to the source. In the Dead Sea Scrolls and rabbinic texts, Azazel is the tempter, akin to Satan, teaching sorcery and warfare. Christianity often equates him with the devil or a chief demon, as in Milton's Paradise Lost, where fallen angels plot humanity's downfall. Islam's Iblis shares parallels, refusing to bow to Adam and leading astray. Modern interpretations cast Azazel in pop culture. Films like Fallen demons possess humans. In games like Darksiders, he's a warlord. Conspiracy theories link him to ancient aliens teaching technology, but spiritually, Azazel warns of knowledge without wisdom, AI, genetic engineering, weapons echoing his teachings. Reflections. What if Azazel's spirit influences today's corruptions in spiritual warfare? Ephesians 6 urges armor against such forces. Personal stories. A veteran haunted by war's horrors finds peace, seeing Azazel's legacy in conflict, turning to faith. What if Azazel hadn't fallen? Would humanity avoid violence? His story teaches rebellion's cost is cosmic, but redemption's power greater. As Noah's Ark foreshadows Christ. As we conclude, Azazel's dark tale from heavenly watcher to bound destroyer reveals rebellion's peril and God's justice. His attempt to destroy the world through corruption met divine response. A reminder: spiritual battles rage. If this stirred you, share, subscribe for more mysteries. And may you stand firm against unseen foes.